And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for tonight's episode of DC's The Flash, Season 9, Episode 8. And spoilers before I begin. I don't know what is it about today. Oh, by the way, happy Passover for the people who celebrate that. Anyway, I don't know what it is about today. I feel like today is mediocre day in episodes of television or streaming things, because I feel like a deja vu from this morning, obviously. I mean, if you guys are fans of Mandalorian, it was a mediocre episode. And now, with The Flash just ending, another mediocre episode. Look, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest here. I love The Flash show. I think it's one of the coolest shows ever on the CW. But it's really dropping for me right now. I mean, honestly. And as much as I love the Flash as a character, I'm very excited about the movie. I don't know what is up with this last season. This is supposed to be its final hurrah. As in, yeah, this is the final season of The Flash. Let's make it the best one ever. And so far, it hasn't been great. I mean, the whole Red Death stuff was cool, but exactly where's the main villain? Where's the big, oh, they better do this now, but fix this before the timeline and multiverse breaks loose. I just don't know where exactly is this show going. I feel like they just rushing it just so they can finish it, which is, not a very good way to end a show, especially if this is your ninth and final season. And I know making a television show is very difficult. I get that, but this episode was very bland. So in this episode, we have Barry and Iris. They go to Star Labs, and typical normal episode. You figure, okay, the alarm is gonna go off, big bad guy's gonna show up, and they're gonna do their thing. Well, no. The worst thing that they got to see in this episode is the fact that Iris is having her cravings because she's pregnant with Nora. Which, by the way, I don't even think they're gonna have Nora first. I think the timeline changed, and now they're gonna have Bart first. But that's just my theory. But anyway, either way, they're gonna have both of them. So, they go to Star Labs, and, Barry's got to get ready for the, building inspectors to come to the lab to make sure all the wiring's good, all the T's are crossed, everything's in order, making sure everything's good. And unfortunately, a villain known as Kronos, and if you don't know who that is, in the Justice League animated show, Kronos was a time bandit who pretty much went throughout time to steal, cool trinkets, whether that's Mona Lisa, a coin from the Roman Empire, whatever you might think of. He goes back around and starts stealing them. But in this episode, we got a woman doing it. She steals a time magnet, and she gets herself stuck in 2023 in Star Labs, and basically makes the Speed Lab a loophole, where not only Barry and Iris, who are taking the inspectors on a tour, making sure everything's working properly, they all get stuck there, and they need to figure out a way to get out of there. Now, normally I'll be like, wow, this is pretty interesting. How is Barry going to get out of this? He basically just looked at the person who was causing all these problems and made her do what the right thing was, to return the item she stole so everything can go back to normal. Because every time they left the Speed Lab, they went right back into it, so they couldn't move anywhere near the rest of the lab, and they couldn't contact outside. They were pretty much stuck in a loop. And I felt like we had this episode already when they were stuck on the same day over and over and over again. So Barry had to figure that out, how to get out of there with him and Iris. Look, I understand this is the last season, but if you're not going to include the other characters in this show and just give them mediocre, moments in their personal life in this show, then what's the point of even having them? The whole Chester and Allegra thing, and I like Chester and I like Allegra, I think they're awesome characters. What's the point of having them anymore? And in this episode, they were just trying to struggle to figure out if they were actually in love with each other. We all knew that. We all knew it, but once again, they wait till the very last minute for Allegra to figure out that, wow, she really loves Chester. Iris is having mood swings because she's pregnant, so she feels that she's a failure and all that stuff. So there's that, and And once again, poor Daniela Panabaker. Daniela Panabaker, once again, her character has now become a mediocre character, which is like why she's the original Arrowverse female character in this world, and now her characters, two of her characters are gone, and her third character yet to not know what her powers are, but somehow trying to channel her sky high kind of elements of that. So there's that, and she wasn't even in this episode. She was in the beginning. Then she left to go meet with Killer Frost and Caitlyn's mom, and then we never got to see that. So there's that. Cecile's just being Cecile, just being out there doing whatever. And Barry, it's just Barry and Iris' show now. It's like, okay, we finally get Iris to the point where she's supposed to be needed, and now it's just like it's all mediocre. I just don't get it. This whole episode was just, what was the point of this episode? And yeah, we take another two-week hiatus so we can get to the crossover between Oliver coming back, which is Oliver Queen, aka Stephen Amell, coming back to team up with Barry the Flash as Green Arrow, which I cannot wait to see that episode because honestly, it was directed by Daniela Panabaker, or maybe she directed that one afterward. One of them. She directed one of them. So hopefully it gets back on track. But this week's episode, if you're gonna go on a break and a hiatus, you want to give us like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I can't wait for the next episode. And now it's just like, do I even care? I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Green Arrow again. I love that show. Arrow is my second favorite DC television show behind Smallville and third would be Gotham. So yeah, but this show right now is not doing good. Superman and Lois is a better show than this, and I hate to say this too. I really hate to say this because this is not how you're gonna get a lot of people angry. Gotham Knights is a better season right now than The Flash. Yeah, I'm saying that right now because honestly, that show has no purpose of being this good, and it's better than The Flash right now. After 9 seasons, The Flash is starting to fall. It's starting to become a real headache. And I'm sorry to say, I really am sorry to say, but this whole season right now, it's just mediocre. Like the other seasons were way better. Even the Thinker season, which is the weakest season in my opinion, because the way they treated Iris and don't get me started with her in season 4, or is it 3? One of them, the one after Savitar. Don't get me started with those 2 seasons. Those seasons are atrocious in my opinion, and those seasons are better than this season right now. So it's like, what are they doing? I get you want to end the show and just be done with the show. I get it. But put some passion into it. I don't know. I'm sorry I'm ranting about it, but yeah, this whole episode was just a little bit mediocre, and it was just kind of sad. And especially after seeing today's episode of The Mandalorian, and that was a mediocre thing. When Star Wars is mediocre, you know television's gone downhill. It's mind-boggling. There are times I kind of wish, where the heck is Stranger Things? And where the heck is Cobra Kai? And honestly, I even hate to say this because I'm not a big fan of it. Where the heck is Game of Thrones? At this point, even Last of Us is over. So it's like, where the heck is the good television shows? And this show right now is just I'm so heartbroken the fact that Flash has become this now. And it's just so hard for me to say. I never thought I was going to say this about the Flash. But yeah, this first couple episodes has not been good, honestly. Yeah, the Red Death stuff was okay, but it could have been more. That should have been the ending. Maybe she'll come back and redeem it, but right now, this might not be my favorite season of The Flash, and I'm disappointed so far. I'm still going to watch it. I'm going to finish this, because I had 9 seasons of being with this show. I'm going to finish it, but right now, I'm just being completely honest as a person who's watching the show. This show has been really, really mediocre, and this show used to be up to here. Just like how Arrow was up here, and then they had a couple seasons that, for some people, were down here. For me, personally, it was up here, but it's dropped. Arrow's still up here, while the Flash was always tied up here, is now down here. But what are you going to do? So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode of The Flash. Did you guys enjoy it? Not enjoy it? Are you guys giving up on The Flash too? Do you think it's just as mediocre as I think it is? Do you think it could be better? I know it could be better. We've seen it be better. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. Stay tuned for more, and thank you very much, and have a good night.